Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. So guys, there's some news. Benavidez says that Canelo was offered 55 million quid, or $55 million to fight him. And this is what I want to read out, statement. He goes, it was kind of a shock because I talked to my advisors and they said for me alone, they were offering $55 million plus pay-per-view. Said David Benavidez to IFL TV. I feel like it's funny because everybody talks payday, but this guy Canelo is making more of a payday than anybody. I feel like there was more money than that. There was more money there, but Canelo is his own person and does what he wants. To be honest, I'm trying to forget about that fight. I don't feel like the fight is going to happen. I was supposed to get it a year ago, a year and a half ago, but that's what they've been telling me. I'm just going to forget about that fight right now. I'm going to try and take care of what's on my side. You've got Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, and you've got David Lemieux, and hopefully Jamal Charlo if he goes up to 168. I feel like that's the best route I can take right now. Just worry about the side and try clean up this side. And then we'll see what happens from there. It's the best that Benavidez put Canelo completely out of his mind because that fight may never come around and it's pointless for him hoping that someday he'll fight him. Okay, Benavidez feels he's earned the Canelo fight. He says, I feel like it's enough. I've been a two-time world champion already, and that's why they rank you. Isn't that why they rank you? I've been 2 and 3, and now I've been 1 for 2 fights. If a number 1 seed doesn't earn the fight, I don't know what else to tell you. It's fine, but like I'm saying, I've been trying to earn the fight against Canelo. I've been trying to fight all these guys. I've been calling all these other guys out for a year and a half already. But it's hard to earn it when nobody wants to fight you. I'm just left with, I don't know what to do. But like I'm saying, I just need to keep fighting the guys in front of me. And hopefully I'll land a big fight with somebody soon. Lemieux next up. Yeah, definitely. I'm training extremely hard. After I get that belt, I'm going to be putting pressure on all these other fighters. I feel like we're both at this crossing point where he wants to get back and be world champion, and I want to be a world champion. I feel like both of our motivation is there because we both have the same motivation because he's towards the end of his career. I'm threshold where I want to get through in my career. I want to make him make a big name for myself. That's why I feels like the fight of the year. I'm going in there very motivated, and I know he's very motivated. We both got a lot of knockouts and expect it to be bloody and violent fight. I'm not backing down, and I feel like this fight is going to be a person with the most heart, and I'm going to come out victorious. Our focus was to get the big fights after we got the fight with Kyron Davis. Since the WBC made it the mandatory for me and David Lemieux, that's kind of the only fight that was put together. Benavidez says Plant is intimidated by him. He says, we've been looking for a Caleb Plant. We've been looking for a Jamal Charlo. We've been looking for all these guys, but none of these guys are available, says Benavidez. He called me fat. He hurt my feelings, said Benavidez, in joking about an insult from Plant. But that's the only thing he can say. Like I said, Fat Boy has power and has way more knockouts than he does. I feel I intimidate him. Everybody knows, everyone can see that I don't like him and he doesn't like me. Once we get in the fight, I'm definitely going to put a hurting on him. It seems like that I've been trying to get that fight for the last 2 years, and it feels like I don't know what's going on. Even when he fought Caleb Truax, we fought the same time and the fight didn't happen. Now we could have made this fight happen, me, him, for an interim title, and it didn't happen. Now he's fighting Anthony Durrell. I tried to get a verbal agreement from him and his team that if everything goes good, we're both good on next fights. Maybe we get a fight for September, November. That didn't happen. It's like one excuse after another. Every time he says something, he tries to go back on me. Oh, he lost the belt twice, and that if I was such an easy target and so undedicated like everybody says I am, then why doesn't anybody want to fight me? Obviously, I've made mistakes, but I've never made my mistakes in that ring. I'm 25-0 with 22 knockouts. I'm ready to know. I'm ready and that's why they don't want to get in the ring with me. David not let Charlo punk. So he goes, I'm a nice guy, I'm calm and stuff, but I'm not going to let anybody play like I'm a punk. Basically, that's what he says. I'm not going to let nobody talk to me about the way I don't want to talk to them to me. I feel like this is the thing about boxing. You can be nice, but all these dudes try to press you like you're scared of them. We're all boxers and fighters. With what the he goes, what the bleep am I going to be scared about? I don't think anybody is scared, but some people try to punk you like you're scared of them. I'm not scared of these dudes, bro. We can get in the ring and out or outside of the ring. It don't matter, says David Benavidez. So there you can see David Benavidez says that Canelo was offered 55 million, but he turned it down. What do I make of that? What I make of that is this. I make of that is that Canelo Alvarez is getting paid a huge amount of money no matter who he fights. Also, he said, that fight's going to be on pay-per-view and he would have got shared. I think the difference in pay wouldn't have been that much. I think Canelo's decision would have been down to who we just felt was more of a bigger fight for his legacy, really. I don't think David Benavidez at this point is that big a fight, and it's a fight that can definitely grow and be bigger down the future. Whereas a Bivol fight kind of seems a fight that could probably happen now. I don't think, like, when you put it out there, 55 million, Canelo was offered 55 million. It seems a lot. But like I said, I don't think he would have been offered much less to fight Bivol. So I don't really think that narrative really washes, because I think Canelo's making a lot of money no matter which deal he takes. It's not necessarily all about the money. It's about the moves that he's making. It's about what makes sense for him from a legacy point of view. And I think a Bivol fight does more for Canelo than a Benavidez fight at this point. I think Benavidez has got a bigger name, and Benavidez is seen as a boogeyman. And the fight, if they were to fight, the Benavidez fight would be a bigger fight. But the way Canelo looks at it, Benavidez hasn't really got anything for me to offer, whereas Bivol is a light heavyweight champion. Bivol is a top dude. So that's the way Canelo's looking at it. Canelo's looking at it from his point of view. And when you look at it from his point of view, Bivol is the more credible guy out of the two. So you can't really blame Canelo for going down the Bivol route. I can see Benavidez's frustration, and Benavidez probably thinks that I've earned my shot. Listen, all of this stuff about you trying to earn your shot against Canelo. Canelo fought Rocky Fielding. He fought Avni Yildirim. He fought guys that were nowhere near as deserving as David Benavidez. So this nonsense about that Benavidez has got to earn his shot, that's nonsense, because he doesn't. Benavidez is a credible opponent for Canelo. He doesn't have to earn anything. The point I'm trying to make is Benavidez says it in this, that he wants to fight everybody. He's not really, like Benavidez has said many times, that he's almost forgetting about the Canelo fight now, and he's looking at other fights, because he knows that the Canelo fight is a fight that I may get, I may not get, but I can't dine my whole career. There's been many fighters in the past that have tried to dine their whole career around one fight, and it ruined their careers. Khan was one with Mayweather. I really think that his chasing and constant chasing on Mayweather really affected his career. Kell Brook chased Amir Khan, and that hurt his career. I feel like when you down yourself out and you're chasing one particular fighter, you're not because you're trying to make safe moves, you're kind of hurting your legacy and you're not growing. Whereas David Benavidez kind of doesn't care, and I think that's how he needs to be if he wants to create a great legacy. I think him trying to go for a Plant fight, a Charlo fight, what that tells me is that Benavidez doesn't care if he loses. But the problem is that that's got to be reciprocated. I do think that Caleb Plant, at this point in his career, has got nothing to lose fighting David Benavidez. I actually think Caleb Plant has a good chance against Benavidez. But Caleb Plant has nothing to lose now because he's got his big fight against Canelo. He didn't come out on top. He lost the fight. So, for me, Plant right now is in a position where he hasn't got his O anymore. He's got nothing to protect. He hasn't got no world title. He's got nothing to protect for me. And I just think a fight with him and Benavidez makes a lot of sense at this point for him. Really, when you think about it, Plant hasn't really got anywhere to go now. When you think about it, Plant's, he's in a position where he needs to take this fight. He needs to become relevant again. He needs to get back to the top. And how do you do that? A fight with David Benavidez would do that for him. So for me personally, I think if for Caleb Plant to get back on the horse, I think Caleb Plant should actually fight a David Benavidez, because a win over David Benavidez puts Caleb Plant in a great position again. So personally, I actually think that a fight between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez is a great fight. And plus, a lot of people are writing Plant's chances off against David Benavidez. I wouldn't be so quick to do that. Because I actually think that David Benavidez, Plant has a great chance against Benavidez. I don't know why people keep writing off Caleb Plant. I actually loved his performance against Canelo Alvarez. I thought Plant was really good. He was really competitive. I thought he did well. Some people, I didn't, but some people even had Plant winning up until he got stopped. Some people thought Plant was outboxing him at times, Canelo at times. So Plant, for me, is a very good fighter. And David Benavidez is very flat-footed. He's defensively very leaky. Plant could outbox him. Now, some people think that Benavidez is going to be too big, too strong, and he's just going to walk straight through Plant. I don't think Plant's that weak. I think Plant's very tough. I don't think Benavidez is just going to walk straight through Plant. I don't. I might be wrong, but I don't see it. I think Plant's a very tough dude. I do. And I think Plant's a very good, assured, very defensively sound boxer. So I actually think that's a very, very hard fight for David Benavidez. I do. I think people are sleeping on Plant. Plant's a very good fighter. He always has been. And his fight against Canelo kind of validated that. I was always high on Plant when I first saw him on the Manny Pacquiao undercard and against Mike Lee, I believe. And Caleb Plant looked sensational. And I always thought from there that this guy's a quality operator. So I wouldn't sleep on Plant if I was people against Benavidez. Benavidez isn't Canelo Alvarez. Don't sleep on Caleb Plant in that fight. I think Caleb Plant could beat Benavidez. I think that's a very good fight. And hence why I think Caleb Plant should be doing all he can to make that fight. And if what Benavidez is saying here is true, then I think that's wrong, because I think Caleb Plant has a good chance in that fight. And a win over David Benavidez puts Caleb Plant back to where he belongs. And at this point, I don't think Caleb Plant's got a lot to lose. He's made his money from that Canelo fight. He's going to make some more good money against David Benavidez. So at this point, surely that's what you're in the sport for. You're not undefeated anymore. So now that you've lost your O, it should make you even more of a risk taker. And the fact that you've been to the mountaintop with the Canelo fight, like, you can understand Jamal Charlo, if he wants the Canelo fight, he's going to look to cherry, if he's dining on the Canelo fight, he's going to look to cherry pick his way to the Canelo fight. Whereas someone like Caleb Plant's already got that opportunity. It's now a chance, after a solid performance against Canelo, to see if he can beat the guys below Canelo, like your Benavidez, like your Charlos. And I actually think that's Plant's style may be all wrong for all those guys. So that's why I think that Plant should be looking for those fights. He should be looking actively to make those fights. And I definitely think that those fights, they're going to be tough fights. They're going to be very tough fights. For those guys like Charlo and Benavidez are going to have a lot of problem with Plant, because Plant's a quality fighter. But in terms of this 55 million that Canelo turned down, I think it doesn't really matter for Canelo, because I think all the money that he's being offered and all the offers that he's getting, I think, are roughly around the same. Because DAZN know that DAZN can offer him the same amount of money that PBC can. They can all match each other. They're all powerhouses in their own way. So, you know, I feel like in terms of financially, Canelo's going to be making a lot of money regardless. So when Benavidez said he was offered 55 million, I think he was probably offered that same amount, because apparently Rick Glazer, who actually said that, you know what, Canelo, Hernan offered more money than Heyman. That's what apparently, who knows what's true, but regardless, Canelo is going to be getting paid a lot of money no matter who he decides to choose. But that's my take on it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.